This morning on BRN Retirement, part two of our conversation with Greg Jenkins of Invesco, the pulse of the DC Defined Contribution Retirement Plan participant. And we'll welcome back to the program, Greg Jenkins of Invesco. Greg, thanks for joining us again on the program this morning.
Thanks, Jeff. Always a pleasure.
So yesterday we talked a lot about language and the importance of language and what their lessons are maybe for plan sponsors and also our friends in compliance. I want to ask you about target date funds. You brought this up. They play a major role in retirement savings, and thanks a lot to Congress and the Pension Protection Act. But basically, my question to you is, do participants understand what these products are? Do they understand things like the glide path risk, the fact that there are underlying investment options in these products?
In a word, not really. I guess that's two words. But after multiple surveys and focus groups over the years, we've seen quite a bit of evidence that the majority of participants really don't understand target date funds. Some participants indicate they're investing in more than one target date fund, or no surprise, hold additional investments alongside target date funds. This year's survey, 25% of participants said they hold more than one target date fund, and 11% said they weren't sure, which is also concerning. 76% of participants said they own other investments for retirement outside of their target date fund. So when we asked this same group why they were investing in multiple target date funds or additional investments, 67% said they were doing it for diversification reasons. So I think that tells us that the diversification of target date funds and really the overall objective is not well understood. So this is concerning. In focus groups, we've also observed quite a bit of confusion about the risk level in target date funds. The idea of picking a different vintage, of course, we've never used the word vintage with participants in focus groups, but the idea of changing the risk level by choosing a different target date fund is completely lost on most people. So there's work to do here. We need to help people understand what a target date fund is and how well they are diversified. There also seems to be this notion in the industry that because target date funds have been around for a long time, that everyone knows what they are. And I think based on our research, we can safely say that's not true.
Yeah, really well said. We talked about jargon yesterday. Here, I'm going to hit you with the word plan leakage. If that isn't the epitome of retirement plan jargon, I don't know what is. But Greg, that means money coming out of the plan, and there's all different ways to take money out of the plan, in particular plan loans as withdrawals, knowing when to take that withdrawal, when and if you can take it, really important. How do we communicate withdrawal options? Because that's pretty important for participation.
Yeah, so this is kind of a hot topic right now, not only retirement income. And by the way, we went about 2 or 3 minutes there without talking about retirement income, which is amazing. But
I know we're going to talk about that at the end, though. I've got a question for you on that at the end. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, great. So in terms of loans and hardship withdrawals, this is a big concern right now. And the reason is because more demographic data has come out from different industry sources showing that it's these at-risk groups, women and minorities, that tend to take out loans even when factoring out things like income. So there's evidence that they may be taking money out of the plan when they don't need to. So how can plan sponsors help, understand these consequences and how to address them? We tested some language to see what might work best, how to explain the issues of taking money out of the plan in the right way. And so what we found is that positive messaging, reminding people that leaving money in the plan will provide more growth over time and will help them achieve their goals. We found that resonates much better than fear selling about taxes and penalties.
Yeah.
So and I was just going to say, we're also planning to do more work later this year on this topic, and I'm really looking forward to having more insights because it's a big concern among plan sponsors.
Yeah, sorry, Greg, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to just kind of build off of that. What role you talk about fear selling, and that happens in a lot of industries. Let's talk about positivity, the importance of being positive in your messaging. What did you find there?
Yeah, positive messaging is very powerful. We found that over and over again. We found that participants gravitate to positive communications. It gives them hope. It makes them feel confident. On the flip side, negative messaging or the old fear selling might get
Hmm.
attention for the moment. Maybe if you're trying to get someone to name a beneficiary, um, but it can cause people to feel bad and disengage when it comes to longer term goals. For example, if you constantly tell people that they are way behind on retirement savings, at some point they're just going to give up. But you don't
Hmm.
have to take my word for it. If you look at how advertising has evolved over the decades, it's pretty interesting. If you Google ads from the 40s and 50s, you find that fear selling was very, very big, especially in financial services. And it's really pretty amusing. You see insurance ads that have a headline of, "What if your house burns down?" The advertising industry became much more sophisticated around 1960, the Mad Men era. It was very research intensive, and they learned that this approach doesn't work. So, if other industries learned that fear selling doesn't work 60 years ago, why are we trying it in retirement plans and with participants? So, really not a surprise that it doesn't work. And positive messaging we find is always the way to go.
Well, they do say that our industry, Greg, is glacial. So, this actually predates ERISA. We just celebrated ERISA's 50th. Maybe we can celebrate with a little bit more positivity. Greg, I told you I had a question for retirement income. We can never, in terms of a jargon term, that's jargon, that's complete jargon. Uh, are participants interested in guaranteed or retirement income?
Well, they are. And we did a study dedicated to retirement income in 2021. We also touched on it in this study. And we found that retirement income programs are very well received. It's a very positive benefit to offer your participants. Even millennials and younger participants are enthusiastic. Of course, they all think they're going to retire earlier, which is
Yeah,
another
50
issue.
or
But
25,
they're
25.
but the concept of retirement has changed. So younger people are much more interested in the end game and how they're going to get money out of their plan to help fund that next chapter in life. So in our 2021 study, we found that 78% of plan sponsors, we surveyed 100 of them, and 78% said they had communicated on how to turn the 401k or retirement plan balance into monthly income. Now, interestingly, among participants, we found only 38% remembered receiving this type of information. So again, 78% of plan sponsors said they're communicating it, but it's only reaching 38% of participants. So this year, we assumed that number would have improved because this is such a hot topic. But surprisingly, it dropped. It was at 30% this time. And one might think, oh, well, that's just because only older participants are looking out for this information. But ironically, the reverse was true. We actually found younger participants were more likely to, our younger participants said they had received this information. Only 23% of Gen X remembered receiving information on turning their balance into income, and only 30% of baby boomers. So this shows there's a lot of work to do. Again, even if you're just explaining how to set up a withdrawal program at the record keeper, almost every plan has retirement income options that need to be communicated. So in our recent survey, we tried to uncover, some of the key features of retirement income programs and what really appeals to people the most. And what we found is that flexibility and the ability to opt out or change course is really those are the most important issues to people. Guaranteed lifetime income, it's a nice to have, but on its own, it's really not the selling point that we would like it to be. Having flexibility to accommodate unexpected things like healthcare costs is really what's most important to people. And cost for retirement income plans just need to be reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly, I know the industry, there's a new product almost every day that pops up. So certainly this is the focus of the industry. Maybe the industry maybe needs to take more cues from the study that Invesco just put out that you're talking about today and help translate into language that actually can help participants and make more sense to all of us. Greg, we're going to have to leave there. Always great to talk to you. Great survey results. And look, we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thanks for having me on, Jeff. I enjoyed it.
And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place. Details, of course, at our website. And we're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.